All right, welcome back. So we're looking at a challenge activity here in code.org CS Discoveries, and we can actually see this as the challenge, the face. Now they give you no code here for this, so you're going to draw it from scratch. Okay, so it says draw a face that uses at least 4 shapes and at least 2 different colors. So in this case, the example, they actually use 3 different colors and they use 7 different shapes. So you have 3 ellipses and 4 rectangles. So, but it does say, if you read the directions thoroughly through here, it says, but you can make it however you want. So depending on how you want to make this, it could look vastly different than what I'm going to make. I'm going to try to make identical to what they've created here. Okay, so if we run this, obviously there's nothing there. So we're going to start with the ellipses. So I'm going to grab a couple of ellipses and place those out here. And I'm going to end up having to give this a color too, so I'm going to go ahead and put a fill in here. Now if we look and show the grid, you know, I'm thinking that it's going to be around in here would be one of the eyes. So probably right in here. Actually, yeah, it's probably right in here, actually. So let's do 150, 125. We'll just kind of do 150 and then 125. And then if we kind of move along here, right, so if we're down here, and if we go over this direction, we're probably looking at probably 250. And we want to make sure that they're on the same y-axis, okay? So then that's going to make sure that they're at the same spot. So let's go ahead and run this, and there's, yeah, that's kind of perfect. Okay, so then actually the nose can be really easy, and obviously I don't want it to be yellow, so I'm going to change it to, well, they don't have a light blue. You can always use RGB colors if you want to, but I'm pretty sure they have a light blue, like that. There we go. Yep, that's what that would be. And then right here, we're going to have another ellipse. And we want to do a fill color with that too, in front of that. This one we're going to make red, and it's going to be 200, 200. Yep, so we have those first 3. Now we need to make the rectangles. So we're going to go ahead and draw this out a little bit. Let's just go ahead and bring 4 of them. And if we look, let's see. I would imagine this first one's going to be like right here. That would be my guess. So let's go ahead and do 100 by 250. Now don't worry about these up here. And I am going to want to like put a fill in there as well. And we can make that light green. I don't think it's, we can just make it green. It's pretty dark, but that's okay. So that's this first one. And then what we need to do is we need to kind of move it down here a little bit, right? So it's kind of going to be right here. So yeah, 150, yeah, I think that's about right. And then 275. Oops. So let's see how that looks. And let's make this light green. I believe they have that. Perfect. Okay, so now our next one we do want to keep, because it's moving along this way, we for sure want this to be 275. Okay. So you can kind of see, yeah, that's perfect actually. Awesome. And then the next one we actually just want to be right here. Right? So that's going to be 250, 250. take a look. Perfect. I think that looks great. And if I remove the grid, yeah, that looks even better. That looks identical to that. All right, so that's how you can make this face. But again, they want you to make it however you want, but I figured I'd kind of show you how to put this together. Make sure you really are careful too, obviously, with where you put the colors. If I remove this fill light green here, then everything is going to be red, which is fine. They say you can use 2 colors, but just be aware of that when you use the fill color, that you put it in the right space. Okay. Oops. Oh, I didn't like my light green. Might help if I spelled it correctly. There we go. All right. Hopefully that helps you with your coding. Good luck.